You are now tuned into All Bets In with MyGuyz. MyGuyz Sports.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2, NFL Week 2 of All Bets In with MyGuyz Sports. You already know I'm Bsperl Online, and I'm here with
Moneyline Rich.
Moneyline Rich. What's going on with you?
Nothing, man. It's a exciting week of highs and lows, man, and ready to talk all about it.
Talk all about it, man. Week 1 in the books, man. It's always cool to just have football back, man. Felt like I kind of consumed, it's been a while, so it felt like I consumed a lot, but it was good to see a lot going on.
Yeah, from Thursday to Monday, it was a lot for sure.
Yeah. No, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We just kind of let y'all know we got the YouTube page up, man. So we're kind of a little behind, just kind of get some things worked out, but we got the recording actual video posted on our YouTube page. So now, along with the audio we provided before, we got some video. So slowly add some pieces to the show to get some better content. So feel free to go over there and check that out. That's the MyGuyz Sports YouTube channel. The link is in our on our Instagram as well. It'll take you right to it. Dislike, leave a comment, subscribe, whatever you feel. Do what you will. But no, you got anything on that part? Just the content creation, what we've been doing there.
It's been exciting, to kind of get it rolled up and kind of get it out to you. We'll start uploading a little bit of YouTube shorts and TikTok videos and different things like that. So if you're looking for any added motivation, something to get you over the top with your game that you're trying to pick, if you want a limbo, and just some added motivation. We'll post a couple clips on the game group too, so you guys can always go there and see what's hot, see what we like, and sometimes we'll tweet, we'll message in the game group during the games and in-game bets, things that we're gonna play. So it just give you opportunity to do that, but you'll start seeing content on multiple faces and see we got a couple of views already on the YouTube and want to continue to push that heavy.
Sure, for sure. Yeah. And no, for handles, and how to reach us, of course, got the email team at MyGuyz Sports. The MyGuyz Sports Twitter is at MyGuyz Sports, and the IG is MyGuyz_sports. And you can reach me at Bsperl Online. That's Twitter and Instagram. And I forgot to throw Moneyline's IG out there last time as well too. So you do got the IG as well. So IG Moneyline Rich Will, and the Twitter Moneyline Rich W on there. So reach out anytime. What we gonna start we got to figure out. We record these on Wednesdays, man. So we got to find a way how to implement the audience and some guests and some picks on there before, and just kind of just start implementing that to the show as well. So you can always throw some picks out there. If you see some picks, we'll throw those out. We probably got to create a little segment to throw those out on the show. People's picks that they got, give a little shout outs and let them throw some joints on there. I think we can Mike can make that happen. We'll talk about it.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, yeah, man. Week 1 recap. We gotta go back and recap, talk about what we picked, what we saw, the results, and kind of break that down before we get into week 2. We win. MyGuyz Sports went 3-3 on the week, so 50%. Our goal is try to be around at least 60%, a little bit higher than that, just giving these free ones that we give out on Saturdays before NFL Sunday. But Rich hit two out of his 3. The Bryce Young interception, I think that one hit in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. He gave me an extra one.
An extra one after that. No, I seen that. I was like, okay, boom, bingo, that's what you want. And And then the what was your third one
Oh,
that you had on there?
I had Chicago Bears under that didn't hit, and then I had the two-team teaser, Colts
Colts and
10 and a
Patriots.
half and Patriots 10 and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one got there too. One of those was some good underdog plays right there. And then I myself went 1-2. So Trevor Lawrence over the passing yards, I believe 258 and a half. It came about 17 yards short. The other we had was the teaser, 6-point teaser with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Pittsburgh just got blown out the water. So that was a tough game right there. And then the third, we had the Monday night under Buffalo New York Jets under first half 23 and a half. So we did get there with that one to get to 50%. So good, decent start, not where we want to be, but we continue to build up through the season as we get more information. Week 1 is always a challenge. So but that's why we got the show, because you can hop on here. And I was listening back to the show, and bro, it was
Got a
some
lot.
gems. Yeah, it was a lot. It was actually a lot of gems on there, man. The
First
underdogs, my
quarter.
two underdogs of the week,
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee covered, Tampa Bay
Mm-hmm.
Bucks covered. That gem you had on that Carolina Atlanta game, that first possession punt.
The under covered. I mean,
Yeah.
Carolina, but we have some hot ones on there. So y'all gotta check out the show and get your picks. I mean, everybody, we always gonna have our own opinions about what we want, but these shows are designed to help you validate what you're thinking about it and give you some more insight. I mean, we do it too. I go to Twitter, I listen to shows just as well as you guys do to be like, okay, I can see that angle. And then you take the information and you let that lead you to where you're trying to go.
Well said, man. Well said. It's challenging too sometimes, man. Like even Tampa Bay, man, that was probably my one of the most confident looks I had. And it was what we do these shows on Wednesday, so it's -6 Wednesday, and then Sunday it's -4, So I'm like, do I want to just give out -4
Mhm.
afterwards? So, some of those,
Yeah.
just hard to give out, on Sunday, try to be transparent, so but yeah, no, I thought it was I thought we saw the board well, man. So excited to move on to week 2. Um any updates that you can in the league that stood out in the
Man,
news,
I'm
man?
heartbroken. My boy Aaron Rodgers, a sad day on 9/11.
Man,
To watch him get hurt, it was a lot of anticipation. Things happen. Sucks. Glad to see him post on IG today. He was in probably better spirits than he was, on Monday, obviously. So, I think he'll come back, but I think a huge blow. And this, I guess, is evaluating the respect he has over the league. Everybody, was, giving him heads up, like saying, "Hey, we with you." The support, the love was unwavering. So you always like to see that. We don't just like Tom Brady, paying man, all these people. We take advantage of these. We don't really appreciate them as much as we probably should have. And just like that, quarterback can be gone. So I think that's important to pay attention to. That was my big highlight for the week. It was devastating.
man, bro, I know that hurt, man. And I wasn't even watching the game. I just was coming back from the gym, and I saw the in the headline, a little, the ESPN thing, and yeah, saw that he was out, man. First drive of the game. I was like, dang, nah, yeah, that sucks, man. And we was gonna pull up to the
Hmm.
game this week and go watch it live in person, man. And that kind of took the excitement out of the matchup for sure. So yeah, speedy recovery, man, to Aaron Rodgers, man. And yeah, hopefully at this age he can recover and get back to playing. I think he will. I don't think this is the last we've seen of A-Rod.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but outside of that, man, what was there anything in week 1 before we move forward that surprised you, or that was just, you know, you didn't see coming, or that you
Definitely the
really take
Giants game.
forward? The Giants.
Definitely the Giants. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was actually high on them on the show, even on our over under segment. I was real high, and they just embarrassed me, embarrassed everything I said, all that. So I kind of was like, damn, like they didn't even show up at all. I feel like
Yeah.
they. And then I was listening to I don't know if it was inside the NFL, little clip on Twitter when they were like, "You get a sack, we get a sack." They were like mocking them. It was like no respect for the Giants at all. And I just was like, damn. Like, can you recover for that? Is that how? I mean, the Giants played good last year. Like, what the fuck happened? I think that was my big thing. So that was the biggest surprise for me. I expect the Cowboys to win, but I didn't expect them to get annihilated. They said they was trying to put them out in the first half, and it was recorded that that's what they were saying. So I think that was the biggest shocker for me, honestly, just that. And then I wasn't surprised about the Bengals. So and everybody's, oh, the Bengals, like, come on, man. Joey B ain't got a good record there, and that defense Short's got the game ball because he clamped them. So yeah, that was the Giants are just my biggest surprise of all things.
Yeah. Speaking of Cleveland, Myles Garrett hitting the tween before he go put pressure on the quarterback. I don't know if you saw that video clip where he was acting like he was crossing over
Oh
on
yeah, I
the
seen that. Yeah, he
line.
was going between the legs and boom, he hit and sack too.
Yeah, yeah. You made a great point last week about Jim Schwartz on that defensive, as a defensive coordinator over there. It's definitely going to change the attitude over there. So, they have the ability to be a top 5 defense this year as well. So hopefully we see more of that.
I agree.
Yeah, my biggest surprise was the Seahawks, man. That was surprising to come out and just see them just that game, the Rams side and the Seahawks.
Hmm.
Did I think the Rams could win? Yeah, I thought there was a chance. The line kind of told a little bit that
Yeah,
might be a
yeah.
chance, but did I think they'd get beat by, they could go and beat them by double digits?
Nah,
No, no,
not at all.
no, not at all, not at all. So, yeah, I would say that might have been the biggest surprise. But um, one thing I think we got to take into account is these games, the way these teams are preparing for taking the preseason, these first few games of the regular season, I have to keep in mind as well that these are kind of like preseason games. Like I think like the first 3 games or so, you have to treat them as the starters and are still getting prepared for the regular season because they're not playing in preseason. So, I think they're treating it as a way to ramp up. And,
Absolutely.
I don't know how, if wins is what matters to these teams as they, now the season is extended to 17 weeks. And, I think these are more prep weeks than, we got to take these into a little grain of salt as they play these first few games of the season.
Yeah, and a little surprised at the Deshaun Watson performance. Like I'm almost like figuring out like, damn, is he finished? Or is this the right offense for him? Or, what the case may be. Did that year and a half off really set back his skills in a sense? We know he can throw the football, but he just hasn't looked comfortable at all. He hasn't looked like Deshaun Watson in a minute. So it's alarming for me. It's been tough to watch him play. I know the Bengals, they got good scheme. They play good defense when they need to, but and the weather was a big factor too, but he just hasn't looked comfortable as a quarterback in a while for somebody who's getting 220, 230 guaranteed.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take I think it's just going to take some time. I think right now what Stefanski is trying to do is kind of incorporate his philosophy, but
Mm,
also try to make it comfortable for Deshaun Watson as well. So I think right now they it seems to me like
it's
I'm
not a
gonna
good
kind of
fit.
watch. Yeah, this first probably 6, 7 games of the season, I kind of want to see, is there like a growth, like of comfortability in the offense? Are they starting to mesh? Because he was out of football for like 2 years, and just come back and I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here early.
Absolutely.
Um, but I definitely want to see some growth there. But I'm with you. I think he's still a little off. I'll say that. Still impactful player. One of
Absolutely, yeah.
one of the great quarterbacks we've seen.
But he operated
Um,
on a rig spread offense in Houston.
yeah, and
So
Clemson,
yeah, so it's tough. But like you said, under center is different for him. Hopefully they open up a little shotgun for him. But I'm with you too. It's gonna be hard to pick them to fade, or fade them or even take them as a spread. You just don't know, what you're gonna get from the QB position.
gonna get
I mean,
yeah,
Denzel Ward, I mean, they defense, you know what they're gonna give you.
right,
But
right.
what are you gonna get from your offense? They got weapons. It's not like they don't have weapons. It's a matter of the quarterback play, O line play. How's that gonna work?
How is that? How is that? No, I'm with you. I'm with you. No, it's that'll be an interesting team, man. Talented, and if they can put it together, they're in the hunt just like anybody else in the AOC.
I agree.
Cool. Well, shit. Let's go ahead and rock into these week two games, man. We got a few like one or two extra on here, so and then we surprise got a Thursday. Gonna talk some Thursday night, so we'll actually start off with that one. We got the Vikings at the Eagles, Thursday night football. Philadelphia favorite, 7. I'm seeing 6.5 here on FanDuel, but also there's some sevens in some places. Over under at 49.5, and this game opened at -7 with a
Mhm.
total of 48. So it hasn't really been too much movement, but I think we're getting more Philadelphia money coming in on here than
Dropped.
drop a little bit, than
Yeah.
Minnesota. Vikings coming off that loss at home to Tampa Bay, 20-17, and the Eagles coming off a win on the road against New England, 25-20, covered, depending upon when you got that number or you push. What are you thinking about this matchup, this Thursday night game here?
I don't have a side on this game. Like I went back and forth. Like originally, I was like, "Damn, Eagles gonna blow their ass out." Um, the only thing I really like on this game is I can't see anybody. I can't see the Vikings running the ball. I expect Kirk Cousins to throw the ball 50 times. So his passing attempt props for me. Let me see if it's out yet, but his passing attempts for me will be the game. I don't think nobody's gonna be able to run on Philadelphia with Carter and Cox, and it's virtually impossible. And then they can't run the ball. They're not Vikings don't even have a star running back we can consider that we feel like is the one. So what are they gonna have to do? What's the game plan? Force the ball to Hawkinson, force the ball to Justin Jefferson. To me, I feel like that's the only way they can actually move the ball. And Vikings gonna move the ball no matter what. I can't see that be a situation where they don't. So Kirk Cousins passing completions at 38.5.
His attempts,
Yeah, 38.5.
bro. I mean, I can see them probably losing for a majority of the game. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So
Yeah. I mean, blown out status.
yeah,
His
but
yards is 262. I mean, I can actually see him hitting 262 over under. So for me,
yeah,
that'd be that's complete. So they expect him to go 24 for 38 because his completions is 24 and a half. And it's short money. It's only at a minus 102. So that completion look like it's gonna be pretty high.
yeah.
So those for me is what I have. I don't. It's Vikings are a team that could probably just sneak you. Their defense didn't play. It didn't feel like they played horrendous. But it just they didn't. It is not the same kind of Vikings field. The Zimmerman defense era is over. So just for them to try to find that thing, and then still are the Eagles on a Super Bowl high hangover still? They still coming out slow. Are they just kind of filling out? Are they testing some things out? When do they go? DeAndre, Swift barely touched the rock. They feel like they found something else in the other running back. So it's just a lot of things going on in Philadelphia. Maybe they start slow, feel like they can beat any team, feel like, hey, we can come back and do whatever. So you just don't know what kind of motivation they really do have. NFC is not really competitive. So me and you talked about three-headed monster, Dallas, Philly, and Frisco. So you just don't know. Vikings are a wild card, but the only thing I like about this game is a prop. So I will say here again, Kirk Cousins passing tips 38.5, or his passing completions at 24.5 over.
Yeah. No, I can't argue with that. I mean, passing attempts, he's gonna have to throw the ball. How much time he has to throw the ball is a different story. I know before we were talking off camera in regards to the Philly total, team total, and I kind of thought about that as well too. But I'm not sure. Um, like I don't know. I agree with you in a sense where is Philly like in a fill out process right now with their offense and with their game in general. You know, it's kind of almost like, all right, we shown that we can get there. How much of this season, like where can we afford to just kind of work on ourselves and coast, but still like win, so to speak.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I feel like they kind of in that space right now. And when you play in that space, you definitely can get snuck.
For sure,
So
easily.
you can get snuck. So, um, uh, so that makes me not really. And this line is to me shows strength, market strength for Minnesota, not Philadelphia. And most of the money is on Philadelphia, so that makes me not want the spread, taking that full spread. So I'm looking, I'm looking at trying to find parts of this game that I feel like can happen regardless, whether it's player props or, whatever the case may be. But I think one of these receivers for Philadelphia is going to have a good game. I'm trying to target which one. I don't know if it's A.J. Brown, but I'm thinking maybe Devontae Smith in this game.
That
I'm
might be
not
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I want to target it, which, if it's touchdown, if it's yards, if it's receptions, I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if it's him or AJ Brown, but I think that's kind of where because, Philadelphia has one of the top offensive lines. They down a running back as well. So, I think this would be a game for Jalen Hurts to get some to get his passing, good passing rhythm in this game, especially at home. So I could see them passing the ball a little bit more. So Minnesota secondary can be attacked. So I'm looking at one of these receiver props. I'm not
I'm
sure
trying to figure
yet.
out which one.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. But that's kind of how I want to attack this game. I'm not sure on either team. Like to me, this game has too much blowout potential for me to like
It does.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know what I
Because
mean?
you just don't know. I mean, they got Kirk Cousins at almost 40 passing attempts. Like if you're gonna throw the ball 40 times against Philly, it just screams garbage time, completion,
Mm-hmm.
garbage time attempts.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I can see Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins fucking first 2, 3 drives throwing 12 balls.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's because
So
they're gonna have to score.
got
At
to.
least
Can't
at
run. They
least
can't run the
20.
ball.
They're gonna have trouble. Gonna have trouble running the ball. So yeah, that's how I'm kind of looking at this game. So I kind of do some more digging. This week. This Thursday night game. So I
Yeah.
probably tomorrow later tonight do some more digging. But if I play something, that's probably where I'm heading. But I'm not totally sure I'm gonna play anything on this game.
Yeah. No, I'm just looking at the line right now. Yeah. Nah, I just don't think there's anything they can do to them. If the Eagles slow the
Yeah.
game down, I can see them grinding the clock out and limiting some things too. So we can see.
See, and
I
I
think
can't
I think
argue with
Philly
that.
just
And
yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those things.
yeah, Devontae Smith over 65 and a half, AJ Brown over 75 and a half. But see, I don't like that if they blowing them out because they now, now they're not gonna get those opportunities to get those yards. So
Exactly.
so yeah, not strong on this game, but I'll definitely watch for sure.
Absolutely not for sure. I might throw some on it tomorrow just on the pass attempts, just to play around with it. But like I said, ultimately we'll see.
Cool, got you on that. All right. That was good. Next game we got here, we got the Raiders at the Bills. Buffalo favorite 9.5, total of 47. This one opened at, what did this one open at? Opened at 9.5 as well. And total of 48 is what it opened. But this has seen a little drop down. I've seen 8 and I've seen an 8.5 out there as
Yeah, I've
well.
seen that too.
So
Yeah, I think out here in the
yeah,
stations is at 9.
it's at 9. Okay, yeah, I've seen some lower numbers. So just depending upon where you're shopping at. Um, Raiders coming off a division win on the road against the Broncos, 17-16, and the Bills coming off a loss on the road against the Jets, Monday Night Football, 22-16 on the overtime punt return on 9/11. What a finish in that game, man.
Definitely.
Yeah. What Bills Josh Allen left this game, got on the podium and expressed his condolences about his performances there. Not the best performances, 4 turnovers. And you got a Raiders team winning there and got a big win. So what is going into week 2? What are you thinking about this matchup right here?
I think Buddy's childhood hero was Aaron Rodgers. I think he was a little distraught too, honestly. Not trying to make any excuses for him. I think that took a lot of air out the building. Like some teams motivated, but it's when that was his hero, that was his icon, that was his hero, that was his, somebody he wanted to be like, So I think it had a bigger effect than, he's not gonna come out and say anything about that, but I think it had a big effect on how things were going for him. But ultimately, I expect him to come back and do his thing. Passing props for me, Josh Allen over 1.5 touchdowns at -158. I like that actually a lot. And James Cook, he was out there busting some plays out there. I like his player prop as well too at 47 over and a half. And also I have a team total. Let me see if they moved it already.
The Bills team total?
Yeah,
It was
we'll tell. So
27.5, I think.
yeah, on FanDuel is at 28 and a half now.
28, okay.
Yeah, so it's jumped. It's good to kind of to play with ultimately, but if I'm going to I'm going to look at some alternative lines for that too and see if I can get a different number. But that's something to play around with too. But I like the both of those. I mean, if you want, you can parlay those two together and make some. I'll do it for you guys real quick. Get a Josh Allen over
Yeah, I
one and a
like that.
half.
I like that the touchdowns, man, but it's just so it's so juice, 158. So it almost make you have to throw it in a parlay with something
Yeah,
else.
if you throw him and James Cook in a parlay, you will get let's see here. If you throw him in a parlay, you'll get plus 198.
What can you throw that in there with the them to win?
Let me see. Let me see if I get them to win too. Money line?
Yeah, just the money line.
Yep, 225. I mean, a lot of shit got to happen, but if you can take out James Cook and just do Josh Allen over a touchdown pass and Bill's money line, you get -114. That's enough, Jude. That's damn near straight money.
I actually like that.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm gonna write that down. Bills. Hey man, we come on here sometimes, bro, and talk and
Talk
you
business.
talk business, man. Get some you might like out there, man. Shit. All right, TD -114. Yeah, we're gonna look at that. Okay. All right. My bad. Did you have
No, that was it
anything
for me
else on
on
the
that
game?
game. No,
Oh,
no.
okay, okay. Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you on that one. I think I like taking players and teams when they're coming off of poor performances. And this would be a home opener, so I'm pretty sure they'll be excited to come back home and win a game in front of their fans. And they get to play against the Raiders pass defense who's been like bottom 5 in the league like the past 3 years. So they can definitely be attacked through the air.
Absolutely.
And I think that's probably what they'll do, is attack them through the air. So just like you on that Josh Allen 1.5 touchdowns, I had that. I just noticed it was juice. So, but adding that to something like the money line is actually enticing. But also I was looking at because I think they'll come out juice. And I remember last year, and maybe a little bit even before, but kind of they had a trend of where they would come out in first halves and score, and then the second half sometimes they would coast. So they might come out in the first half and score 24 points and end the game with 30. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I also I like their first half team total at 14 as well. I think they come out and score early.
Gotcha.
The team total, I lean that way. For some reason the 27.5
Get you.
bothers me. For some reason I think it'll mess around and land 27 exactly. And so I wouldn't mind taking, that's one I probably, if I thought about another parlay piece, I might alt spread the alt total and maybe take 26.5 instead of 27. But
Okay,
I can see
that.
them scoring 30. I think they're going to
Easily.
have opportunities to score.
I agree.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised there either. But yeah, I'm definitely leaning. It's the Bills. What I would be betting in this game is the Bills offense against that Raiders defense. I'm not sold on that Raiders defense and performance last week. We'll talk about the Broncos later, but yeah, I'm not sold that was just because the Raiders just had a hellified defensive game. I think that was a little bit of their opponent as well.
I agree.
Cool. And you got Vegas coming. This will be their second consecutive road game coming off a division win. So,
they back in Pittsburgh here. The week after, I believe.
Pittsburgh after that.
Yeah, here in Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas. See, and that's a primetime game.
Yeah, I think it's a Monday night game if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so you got it's a sandwich spot, man.
Yeah, they play Sunday night football. I'm sorry, Sunday night football.
Okay, prime time.
And that game's at a pick 'em already.
Yeah. This not the best Raider spot in my opinion.
No.
Yeah, this could be a one of those just playing. All right, we got one split on the road. And you had to meet a pissed off Bills team, and we'll see. But yeah, that's my looks on that one. You got anything else?
No, that's good. That's it for me on that one.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think we threw player props and stuff on that one. Okay. Next game we got the Ravens at the Bengals. Cincinnati favorite 3.5. I'm seeing some 3 as well. Total at 46.5. In this game open, Cincy -3, total of 47. So we're getting a little bit of Cincy money, pushing this thing to the 3.5. We'll see if it holds some strength there, and then a little bit of buy on the total. Some places I see some 47 pretty much. Yeah, 47, 46.5 around there. But Cincinnati coming off that loss on the road against the Cleveland Browns. It was a blowout. I can't think what was the score in that game.
I think 28 to something. That was pretty bad.
Something terrible. I know that. I should have these things up. 24 to 3.
No, me too. That's
24 to 3.
24 to 3, yeah.
Yeah. And the Bengals, the Ravens. Say it again.
Yeah, they were touchdownless.
Yeah, no, it was. I don't even think Joe Burrow had 100 yards passing.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, and then we got the Ravens coming off a home win against the Texans, 25-9, and then they did get the cover there, but kind of some casualties in that game. Ravens are coming to this game a little a little banged up. Few J.K. Dobbins, man. That sucks
Yeah,
to hear, man. Again, another injury like that.
yeah. And he looks like he's gonna be a star too, so that sucks big
Mm,
time. Yeah, prayers, speedy recovery for him as well too.
man, best of health, man. Best of health. But and then they are I think they're down two offensive linemen here as well. And Marlon Humphrey, I don't know if he's returning this week, and I think there's another secondary player. Um, so the Ravens already dealing with some early injuries. They go here on the road to face a Cincinnati team who's pretty much had their way in this matchup of recent, giving this Baltimore defense some issues, and they're coming off a loss. So they may have something else to say in regards to losing two division games in a row. But what you think about this matchup here?
Um, I mean that's easy to bet the Bengals because they show up embarrassing. I think I like the over on both games. On this game as a whole. I think there was a lot of hard hitting, but there was a lot of spots that the Texans was just carving the fucking Ravens up. And I watched, I'd say about 20, 25 minutes of the game, flipping back and forth. They was carving them up. You know what I'm saying? CJ Stroud had a decent stat rating. It wasn't like he played bad. He played fairly well, completed some passes. I mean, that team was out there playing on house money. Like they don't know no better. I just think there was a lot of holes in that defense that were exposed, and I think they're going to get even more exposed. I'm tempted to take the team total over because of the showing that they have, but I'm not seeing a team total yet out yet. Maybe they wait until
For
closer to the
Ravens?
week. Yeah, let me see if it's out yet. No, for the Bengals.
Oh, the Bengals
Oh,
team
20,
total over.
yeah, 24 and a half. I can
Okay,
see them
okay.
hit. I can see them hitting that. I just see a lot. I mean, it's a rivalry game, so it's kind of hard to predict. But I can't see them back-to-back weekends, 3 points, and then what, 17 points this week if they score it. I mean, I would expect them to have a higher outing. That, like I said, that defense. Let me see what the Ravens got. The Ravens gave up some points, and I mean some yards in that game last week, and I just think it was kind of very. They only gave up 9 points, but I think and start having all this stuff out for me. But
Was it
CJ Stroud had
big
20, yeah, yeah,
plays?
had 242 yards, only 5.5 yards to carry. He was sacked 5 times. He threw the ball 44 times. They didn't run the ball a lot, which says a lot. They only ran the ball 23 times and they threw the ball 28 or 44. So for me, it feels like to me that they gonna give up a lot, And Lamar Jackson didn't play great as well either, but I mean, he got a new offense, new offense. D'Amico Ryan coaches defense really well. Has seen, guys like Lamar Jackson come in and out. So I think the scheme was perfect for them. I think the better team won, but I expect Joe Burrow to come in and carve them up, three wide receiver set, go out there. Maybe Joe Mixon gets a little bit of feeding on the ball, and I think they roll. So I like the over in the game, but if I'm leaning towards the side, I'm leaning towards Cincinnati at an alternate spread of like 5.
Okay, Cincinnati -5. Okay. Hey, I can't yeah, I can't be mad at that. The Bengals have I mean, they've had their way in this matchup. And if you're going to attack the Ravens, they play a lot of man-to-man coverage, and that's probably you want to do that against the Bengals. You're gonna have some trouble trying to guard those three receivers man to man. So it is a recipe. This matchup is weird because all the other matchups in the AFC tend to be under games for Baltimore, except when they play the Bengals. This game always tends to go over. I think they went over both times last year as well. And it's just because, the Bengals can create big plays against the Ravens because they play that man to man. So you leave Jamar Chase going down the field wide open and, Higgins and Boyd coming across crossing routes by itself. And, that's hard to defend. So I definitely I definitely think the Bengals can score. But what does bother me about the Bengals too is are there real issues still or worse issues with this offensive line
Than anything
and
else.
Yeah, then and for the Bengals, like, can Baltimore put pressure on him for him to not be as successful passing the ball?
Good point.
That's I guess the only thing that will worry about me about Cincy scoring. I didn't rewatch that Cincy Baltimore game, but I just saw that he just wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
So we'll see in regards to that. And then with Baltimore scoring, does their offensive line issues hinder them from scoring? I mean, I think Lamar will be able to throw the ball a lot better
Yeah.
this
That's a
week.
good point. That's actually a good point.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to run the ball as well, but I think he'll have to throw. I mean, especially in your case where if Cincinnati can score on them and they scoring points, I mean, they'll have to spread it out and try to score with them as well. So,
Yeah. Nothing out yet on the passing totals, yards
oh,
or completion or anything right now. So
okay. Yeah, and then Lamar didn't score a touchdown
yeah,
last week either. So I think this week
plus
he gets
110 for
for
anytime touchdown scoring.
for his.
Yeah, if he runs in, I'm sure plus 110 is something to highlight.
Yeah, see, I don't know if it's a run or if it's a pass. So that's yeah, I will have to see. I want to see what his passing TDs because he may get 1.5, and you may get plus 130 or something like that on a over 1.5 passing TD.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see it. But they got some injuries. I think Mark Andrews is hurt as well.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so I think I think that affects some things. So yeah, with this one as well, I want to look and see what those Lamar Jackson passing props look like.
Yeah.
And then I am leaning towards the over on this game as well. I think just this matchup just kind of
Yeah,
it
I
tends
agree
to
with
be
you.
over a
Yeah,
scoring
for sure.
matchup.
I agree 100%.
Cool. All right, you got anything else on this one?
No, nothing on that one.
All right, cool. Next one we got here. Click that off. We got the Seahawks at the Lions. Detroit is favorite 5.5 with a total of 47.
That's a good one.
This game opened. I want to say it opened at no open. Look ahead was
5.5.
Detroit -3.
Oh, 3. Okay, so
Actually,
it's bumped up.
yeah. Open the look ahead was -3, and then the opening total was 52.5. So it looks like it's come down since then. The total has a lot. And I wonder why it's come down so far. Is that because it's come down to 47?
Yeah, it's at 47 even.
Is that because maybe that's because Seattle didn't do nothing last week? Cool. Well,
Yeah,
Seattle,
I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, that's it. I just noticed that changed like 5 points. Seahawks coming off a loss at home division game against the Rams. We were talking about that one earlier. The stunning just performance by the Seahawks, getting blown out at home. What was that score?
Definitely had upset alert all over it.
It did. I can't lie, and that's why I had no thoughts on any on that spread at all. 30-13 at home, and the Lions did win on Thursday Night Football at Kansas City 21-20. These teams did match up, I believe, last year as well, but interesting matchup, man. It's we talk about week 2 overreactions, right? One thing you gotta pay attention in all these games is one game is not who a team is, man. It can be this is a week where you could see the complete opposite. So we saw a poor Seahawks team last week, and we saw a good Lions team this past week as well. But what's your thoughts on this matchup right here, this NFC East matchup?
This was tough. It's easy just to get to overreact and say, "Damn, the Seahawks can come out and put that thing on them." But I did. This is a game I just don't have any killer read for. I think Geno will play better. I think the offense will flow a little better. Kenneth Walker will get moving. But I guess we just don't know what to expect. I think the under is probably the only lean I have towards it. I mean, the Seahawks didn't play great, and I think they had a lot of expectations coming out. But and division games are different. This is not a division game; it's a conference game. This shit gonna count later down the line. And I just don't. It's just hard to be like. I wasn't super impressed with the Lions against the Chiefs, playing without Travis, playing without Chris Jones. They didn't necessarily dominate. I thought the play calling was pretty vanilla, and this is just backed up for what I've seen in Twitter as well too. It was too cute, and I think that that's a big deal for me. Like you can't get too cute with an offense that does actually have all their weapons. And can you guard them? Can you make them? Can you do enough things to slow them down? I'm not sure, but it seems like the people were all over this under because of total drops. So it's interesting to see. If I had to do it, I would tease it up and tease it up with another game and move the total up to 52 and hit an under.
Yeah, under on this game. Okay. I mean, what's the is it the makes you like the total of this game? And I am I asking because I actually like the opposite, but I'm curious to know what you
I
see in the
think they're even. I
matchup.
think they're an even team. I mean, to me they're even. Like what does one do without the other one? I mean, honestly, is it? Do you feel like they do? Do we feel like what team is better? Who has better? I think they're evenly matched. The biggest advantage is that the Lions have probably one of the top three best offensive lines in football. So is there going to be a lot of pressure? But they didn't run the ball extremely great. I like the backup kid, the running back. He's good, but did they do a lot to any one of those teams that you look at on paper and say, "Damn, Lions are this much better than the Seahawks, or the Seahawks that much better." Seahawks got a better receiving core. Lions got a better O line, even on running backs, tight ends. Coin flip. I mean, what do you coin flip? You probably can take, you lean towards the Lions tight ends over them, but defense, pretty even, you know. I don't see anything that's outstanding for me about their either. So I think it's an even matchup. I think even matchup for me. So I think why I lean towards the unders, I feel like they'll score, but I think they're just too evenly matched all across the board. I think what Seattle wants to do, I think Seattle's still trying to figure out what they want to do, and I think Detroit has to figure out what kind of offense they're going to be. Are they going to pound the football, or are they going to continue? Are they going to really utilize that O line? Because without Chris Jones there, they should have smashed the ball down the Chiefs' throat, and I didn't feel like they dominated like that to an extent. And can they translate that to Seattle?
Trying to figure out their play calling and what they
Yeah,
really want to do. That's a good point. That's a good point. And even I'm with Seattle. I'm trying to figure out was it just game one for them, or was it them like they really trying to figure some new stuff out as well? Because I
absolutely.
figured they'd score in that game, but
Hmm.
yeah, no, thanks for the insight. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the game. I'm not sure if week one was the real Seattle offense. So I'm expecting them to have a little better flow going into this game. And I'm with you. I have no thoughts on the spread of this game. I think it could go either way. I think Seattle could money line them, and think Detroit could also cover the spread. So
Real
I
shit. Yeah.
I have no thoughts on this 5.5 at all. But I'm just looking at it and I'm like, you made a point as well. I think Detroit has a top five offensive line. I mean, it's probably top three, probably closer to one or two with Philadelphia. And we just saw what, the Rams were able to do to them. And I'm just looking at this now and I'm like, if you can't, if you can't stop the Lions from running and you can't pressure Jared Goff,
Yeah.
how are
How do
you
you
really
stop
going
them?
to stop them from moving the ball and scoring? So I'm looking at that like, okay, they're probably going to be able to and they're at home on the turf. So I think they're going to be able to score against Seattle. And like you said, they're even. They got weapons on the other side. So I'm looking at Detroit, and I'm like, okay, well, if Detroit, is scoring and this game turns into a game where Seattle is going to have to be aggressive, I think they got plenty of weapons to stress, Detroit's defense
I
out.
agree.
So I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking it's going eventually, even if it starts slow, eventually there's going to be scoring.
Absolutely, I agree. At some point, right?
At some point in this game, so I was actually looking at totals.
Oh,
And then
total for the
also
game.
Geno Smith, his passing yards, because I think if they are at any point playing behind, he's gonna throw, and he's got to play a better game this week too. He didn't play well last week, and then you got the soundbite of him screaming, "Oh my God!" when not judging, because I don't think anybody wants to see Aaron Donald coming around the corner.
Not a soul. Me neither.
At all. So I'm not judging him, but hey, you gotta come out and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
you was a Pro Bowler last year. You gotta come out and
And
be
don't make
damn
it like a
good.
fluke. People think it was a fluke.
People think it was a fluke, man. You
Was it a
got
fluke or was it real?
hey, that's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking he gotta come out. They just gotta come out offense just has to play a crisper game.
I
And
agree.
it's a good opponent to do it against. So I see some scoring in this game. It doesn't look like Geno's props are out yet, but I'm looking at his passing yards, and then their team total, it was at 19 and a half, but now I'm seeing 21. So I could see them getting over to 21. I mean, 3 touchdowns throughout the entirety of this game, whether they're winning or losing. I think they're going to have to keep up with a team that's that can score against them. So I see some scoring in this game. So I'm leaning towards those, but I got to look closer as those player prop lines come out. All right. I think you're on mute, fam.
Yeah, no, I said usually in my top. This is not on my top 3 list. If I use it, I'm gonna tease it. If anything.
Got you. All right. You got anything, player props or anything
No,
else on this one?
nothing with this one. I'm tempted to look at the backup running back. Let me get his young man's
From the
name right here.
Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think I'm looking to see what the longest rushing total will be. Let me see if I see anything on Gibbs here. I don't think. Usually, what thing about FanDuel you guys will see is that they're very picky about how they put their props out. Some shit you won't even see until fucking Friday or Saturday or some shit like that. So just be careful. I don't like right now. I don't see anything in the rushing totals or anything like that. So check us out on the game group. We'll have more updates on that for you to see. Right now, what I see, what I want is not on here, but I don't have anything else.
Got you. All right. No, that was a good little breakdown right there. Cool. Next game we got here. What is this? It's changed on this Minnesota game. The money line changed, I guess. All right. Next game we got here, we got the Bears at the Bucks. Tampa Bay favorite 3. Have seen a 3.5 out there. I don't think FanDuel is 3.5, though. I think FanDuel is 3. Yeah. Actually, FanDuel is down to 2.5. Looks like.
Oh wow. Let
Yeah.
me see.
Total of 41.5. 40.5 at FanDuel. And this game, this look ahead was actually Chicago favorite -1,
Mhm.
which is very interesting. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. But Chicago was favored on the look ahead, and the total on the look ahead was 44.5. So we've seen some money come on the under, and a lot of Bucks money, Bucks love coming in. Bears coming off an embarrassing nightmare, which they seem to never have woken up from when it comes to seeing the Green Bay Packers. They take a division loss at home, 38-20 to the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tampa Bay Bucks coming off an upset outright win as underdogs against the Vikings, 20-7. Now they come back home and face the Bears. Another instance of one team coming from a high, another team coming from a low. And here in the week 2. What's your thought? And I made a mistake on that last game. I think I called that a in division. So that was not an in division. That's an NFC conference matchup.
Conference game, yeah.
And we got another one, NFC conference matchup. What you thinking about this one here?
Man, this is the first real upset alert. Look ahead upset alert that I feel like there's a lot to unpack with this game. I actually took some fun notes. Baker Mayfield had a quarterback rating Pro Football Focus 80.8. The Bucks gave up 350 yards in the air. I think there's some chemistry issues going on. Have you watched all the clips of Claypool? Very effortless out there. It doesn't seem like he wants to be there. You gotta wrap that shit up. And another thing, Bears ain't won a game in 324 days.
Dang.
That's bad. And on the last 3 trips to Tampa Bay, they've averaged 10 points a game in the last 3 games in Tampa and Chicago, right? They've lost 11 in a row, 14 lost, 15 in Chicago. At some point, I just feel like the Bears could throw the ball. I really think they can. And I think they can actually throw the ball better than what Minnesota did if to me, they have the same kind of weapons. If they cold commit, they got weapons. They got DJ Moore, they got Claypool, they got Moody?
Yeah.
I mean, they got weapons. Yeah, Mooney, they got weapons. So even with all the stats backing against them, the 3 spot for me was like Chicago played like shit against Green Bay. But Green Bay been smacking them around for years, so it's kind of one of them rivalry games where you'd expect it. Like, do you feel like they go? I mean, 5 more games, they wouldn't have won a game in the entire season. So at some point, you got to pull the trigger and you got to say, all right, can the Bears go out there and put up 400 yards of offense against the Bucks? So their defense didn't look good. They're starting a corner on rookie on Tampa Bay. I think Carlton Davis is out too. He's not playing. So if there's an opportunity for the Bears to win a game, it'll be that, because I believe, I'm mistaken. Let me look this up just to double check here.
And their season win total was like 7.5, wasn't it? It was pretty
high. Was pretty high.
Yeah.
So I think Chicago's, and if you want to take a second to look at their schedule, if you don't get a win in Tampa Bay, you're not going to get a win next week in Kansas City. Denver is questionable. Washington is questionable. Then you play Minnesota, and then you play the Raiders. I mean, there's winnable games on the schedule, but do you want to start the season 0-3 and get your second home game against Denver, being 0-3? I think if there's a sneak spot in this game, I think Tampa Bay is a team, and then every time Baker does good, man, I just feel like there's just this wave of arrogance that comes out, and I just can't stand it. So my thoughts for this game, I got Chicago plus 3.5. I have Justin Fields over his passing total, if it's up yet, because he only passed for 216 yards last week, and then he rushed for 60 yards, so that was pretty high as well too. And DJ Moore didn't have much love either, so I like to get him on it. There's a lot of work in this game that you can kind of bet on. You could take DJ Moore over on his receiving yards, Fields over his passing yards, the Bears points, and then you can throw Baker Mayfield anytime interception in that thing somewhere. Preferably, you'll probably hear it here first, probably to my man, Kansas safety Eddie Jackson.
Eddie Jackson for the pick. Hey, man. No, that's you have a lot more as far as what you see in this game than I do, because I'm just going to inform you. This is on my upset, one of my underdogs of the week. And I honestly don't have anything to back up why I feel that way. I really don't
Hey,
have any.
that's not. Hey, it's not wrong with that though.
I don't. I just, a 4-point swing of a line. I mean, Chicago was favorite in this game initially, and now they're getting a field goal. So the swing was, to me, was very erratic. I thought the
Very,
Bucks
very
played
erratic.
well. Yeah, I thought the Bucks played well, but they won by 3 points, and which we talked about that game, and Chicago underperformed against a game that they probably felt disappointed that they lost, and they were favored in that game. So
hmm
I think that's a low, and you come out after those games, and you gotta perform. So I'm looking at this game, and it got upset. It got upset written all over it, overreaction. So I'm going to just it's my one of my underdogs of the week. Whether they cover or not, I could see them winning the game,
Yeah, for sure.
outright.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm on board with you 100% there.
yeah. So yeah, no, that was I don't got no stats, no nothing behind it. I'm just looking at the line, and I just feel upset. So yeah, no, that's and then player props on that one. You know, this Chicago defense isn't that I say I would lean towards the over. I wouldn't be surprised, you're probably not in a bad spot taking one of the receivers. I don't know if it's Godwin or Mike Evans, to have
Anytime.
anytime TD, yeah.
Green Bay ran the ball on them pretty well though.
On against Chicago.
Yeah, I would see that there and then Tampa Bay didn't run the ball. I want to say they didn't run the ball at all really well
They
last.
tried to, they didn't run it that well though.
Yeah, they didn't at all.
Yeah. Yeah. But they might they might try. I'm not sure
I
what
mean,
they're
they
gonna come
carried the
out to
ball
do.
17 yards for 40 yards.
Oh, so yeah, still no run game.
No, still no run game. And
Yeah,
they only put up
and
20
the
points. Let's not forget. They only put up fucking 20 points
20
against
points.
against a Vikings defense who gave up the highest scoring offense points per game in the league last year.
And Green Bay can run the ball, so it's not a bad thing if they had some
For
success on the
sure.
ground against you. They can do that. Cool. So we got that. We got anything else on that one?
No.
All right, cool. Next game we got here. This will be an interesting one to talk about. We got the New York Giants at the Arizona Cardinals. The Giants are favorite 6 now on FanDuel, with the total sitting at 39.5. This game opened. What did this game? Sorry about that. Is this one missing? Oh, here it is. This one game opened New York 5.5, and the total was at 39.5. So not much movement on the total.
Yeah, not at all.
We're moving on this one because it opened 5.5. It immediately dropped down to -4, and then it shot back to 5.5, 6 again. So we're a little
That's
line
interesting.
movement on that. Yeah, Giants coming off a blowout loss at home against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, 40-0, and the Cardinals coming off a loss on the road at Washington, 20-16. Just kind of a weird game, man. I think they had their chances to actually win that game. So
Right.
close game. But no, what are your thoughts on this matchup right here?
You want to take this one first?
Yeah, okay, cool. No, I'll take this one first. Like the thing, overreaction week 2. I think people saw the Giants go out there and get blown out. Get blown out in front of on Sunday night prime time by the Cowboys. And the Cowboys got a good defense, man. I tell you what, if you don't have a above average offensive line and you can't run the ball, then the Cowboys, you probably not going to beat the Cowboys because they just are very disruptive with their front and their defense. And their defense has been together, the core of it, for a while,
Exactly.
and the D coordinator. So they're going to be tough to deal with. So I don't really knock it at all, right? Knock that at all. And then you get a Cardinals team who, in my opinion, they are tanking this year, even with the what they're doing at quarterback right now, tanking, and they go out there and they almost win on the road. Now they come home, season opener, but I don't know. I just feel like the Giants had playoff team last year. They got expectations, and when you get embarrassed like that, you got to go out and perform the next game. And coming on the road and playing against Arizona, they play really well on the road last year. I think they were one of the highest covering road teams in the NFL last year.
For sure.
And then they get a 5-1 ATS last 6 on the road, and now they get an inferior football team in the Cardinals, and I think it'd just be tough for the Cardinals to score in this game. I think Wink Martindale's going to throw some blitzes and coverages at this quarterback that he's not prepared for. That he doesn't even have a lot of practice with this group. So
no, not at all.
And I think I put a tweet out here saying I like this game, but I have thought a little bit more. So I'm not I haven't dived fully into it, but I'm looking at this game and I think either the Giants are going to sweat this one and barely come away with a win, or they're going to win by double digits.
Or they're going to win by double digits. That's the only way.
Yeah,
I think the best way to do this is ultimately like how do I put this? I think the best way to do this would be like tease it. I think you have to tease it. I think you could tease the Giants down to 1.5 points plus, something like that. That's the safest.
Yeah, you might money line it at that point. Yeah,
exactly. So that's the only thing I say. I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah, I don't see them losing, but I could see this game end up being just unnecessarily closer than what I originally thought. And if it's not close, they're gonna blow them out. So I'm just it's that fine line of going what your gut feel and what you really see versus what other information might be keeping you off the game. So I'm trying to balance that right now and trying to think of how I want to attack it. But I will say one thing that I have written down is an alt line, because if I feel they're gonna cover the spread, I think they're gonna. Sure. Yeah, I think they're gonna blow them out.
First half, I think the first quarter might be good too. Actually, that's exactly what I'm looking at right now. If you have to jump it, and feel like, damn, they played like absolute fucking garbage, let's jump it, because at 6 first quarter, you can get the first quarter at -1.5, at +118. That's a spot. That's a spot.
I got. Yeah, I guess let me ask you this. If the game is, because we say the game could be close, could be blowout. If the game is close, is it because Arizona has energy and gets off to a good start and they get off to a good, start and the Giants have to work their way back? Or is it because the Giants get up a lead and they just quit playing, and the Cardinals come back and make it close.
I think when you get embarrassed on national TV like they did, I think you have to jump. And the Cardinals played great. They almost won. I mean, let's keep it a G. They almost won.
Yeah,
Nobody expected that from the Cardinals. But if you're the Cardinals, this is the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. So you get ran early or you get ran late. And if you're looking at a spot for this game, money line is great. But because they got blown out in a fashion where they did not score a point, they did not produce any offense. But the only thing worries me is the Cardinals had 6 sacks against Washington. The O line in the Giants has not been very great. Um, I think it's Andrew Thomas is also not playing for the
yeah.
Giants, so their O line is going to be weak as well too. They haven't played each other in 4 years, going on 4 years, 3 years. They didn't play since 2020. So there's a couple of things where you like 6 sacks, 7 sacks, gave up 7 sacks. Do you come out and put a touchdown on the board early in the game if you're the Giants? If you had to bet, and any part of the game, I think the Giants win. But if I'm looking for some value or for some money, plus 118 to cover, that's even if they get a damn field goal. I think they shut the Cardinals out in the first quarter.
In the first quarter.
If I'm looking for the highest value of my money.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
sure if I want
No.
to bet it, but it's a high value. It might go on a lunch ticket. I'm building one as we speak.
Yeah, that's that. I guess that's where I'm trying to, envision the script, so we speak, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking if the Giants get up to a lead in this game, I I don't see it's because the Cardinals catch up with them, because I think where they're going to struggle is to score against the Giants. So I'm like, okay, if the Giants get up, now you made a good point about the defense. So do I really have a good grasp of how good the Cardinals defense is or not? I really don't. And
Yeah, for sure.
that's the part, where it's like, okay, if the Giants do jump them, let's say they get up, you know, 20, 2 scores, and then they just kind of coast the rest of the game and don't really score, and the Cardinals sneak a couple of scores and just make the game closer, towards the second half of the
Mm-hmm.
game. That do make sense, that kind of scenario as well. So I agree with the juice spot, man. The first half early in the game should be the
It should
juice
be it,
spot for
right?
the Giants. It should
But
be.
they could just be still on they could not be woken up.
They could have to get them a lather to kind of pull
Yeah.
away in the game. The
But it's
defense might make up
embarrassing.
plays or so, Yeah,
But
it's
embarrassing.
tough.
I would say if that happens and the game is 0-0 or the Cardinals lead, I will get my money back on the end game because I would expect the Giants to come back at some point and watch them. I just can't see the Cardinals playing competitive football for 4 quarters. Now the D coordinator, I see him. He's a pretty young dude. He's looking to probably make a name for himself too.
Yeah, right.
Let
And
me
the
see.
Giants are still trying to figure out, they got some new additions to their offense. Some guys, I think Shepard was hurt most of the season, last season, coming back, and then they adding Waller. So, they trying to find a balance as well. How they
Yeah,
want to.
Nick Riley's is the D coordinator for the Cardinals. He had them
Mm,
boys competing.
mm, see,
Yeah, he's a young guy too. He was only born in 1993. He's a young guy, 30 years old.
yeah, and if you're the
That's
Giants, you put bad tape out there. Other teams might use those type of blitzes to try to,
hmm
same blitz packages try to get at you. Not saying that they got Cowboys personnel, but just little
Yeah,
things that work.
for sure.
Yeah. No, this is, I'm gonna sit back and wait. I'm not when I'm looking at this number, um, you know, if it goes higher, I doubt it goes higher than that. But I don't like being on the side where all the money is, and right now all the money is on the Giants, and I just don't like the feeling of that. So I probably wait and see what this line does. If it goes down from here, I'm probably gonna just leave this game alone.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would need to see strength to stay around this 6 actually.
I'm with you on that 100%.
Cool. But yeah, no, that's yeah, that's all I got on that game, man. Interesting one
Okay.
though, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Cool. All right. Next game we got here. We got the Jets at the Cowboys. Jets at the Cowboys. Dallas is favored 9.5, total of 39.5. I'm seeing some tick down to 38.5, 38.5 here on FanDuel. And this game opened a lot lower than this because Aaron Rodgers was expected. So it did open -3. Dallas favored 3 points. The total opened 45.5. And due to that injury, we got a jump of about 6.5 points. And the total has dropped about 6 points as well, which when I asked you what you think this line to come out as, you said 9.5 exactly. And
Man, what
and
devastation.
and it kind of ticked down to 8.5. Opened actually at 8.5, I think, and then it got bought straight up to 9.5. So didn't waste no time. But yeah, man, what we talked about it briefly sucks. That we can't see this matchup, man. That's heartbreaking. But Jets coming off that Monday night win.
Show must go on.
Show must go on, man. Monday night win at home against the Bills, 22-16 in overtime, and the Cowboys coming off that 40-0 blowout win at the New York Giants, 40-0. This will be a defensive battle matchup right here. It'll still be interesting to see that side of football. But what are your thoughts on this one?
The under is free. Anything but the under in this game is not bettable.
Man.
Dak Prescott's going to throw picks. Zach Wilson's going to throw picks. Both teams probably get sacked combined for 7 times. That O-line and Jets, as you see, is atrocious. Dak likes to move around in the pocket, and they got bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies. And the Jets, they just keep cycling them boys out left and right. I can't see either team moving the ball on each other. I mean, I don't. I think Dallas has the more potential to do some. Because let's be honest, even the Bills moved the ball against the Jets very well. They get 5 turnovers. They don't care if you put up 500 yards on me. If I got 5 takeaways, I win.
Man.
So for me, it's just kind of one of them situations where you're like, damn, like, okay, what is it really? So I think for me, as I'm on the side with you. I don't. This is not a game I feel like it's gonna be competitive. Jets. I mean, the Jets lose no matter what. Cowboys win no matter what. I mean, unless Zach Wilson comes out and turns into Brett Favre or something like that magically. But I can see a scenario where this game is just pretty much out of range. But I think the under, because as much as I like the Cowboys to win, I think they don't win by no more than a touchdown or so, maybe 10.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a physical defensive game. And I think, like you said, both offenses are going to struggle. The Cowboys don't really have they're not going to have a strong run game this year, and they're not going to lean on it heavily. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot more this year. And we talked about this Jets defense last week. If that's how you want to attack them, then they'll take it because they have good corners. They can create pressure up front, and you're not just going to be able to throw the ball up and down the field against this defense. So I think Dallas will struggle, and then of course Jets, not having their quarterback, having a young fella, I think you'll have more of a conservative game plan. You got to find a way to try to get him some rhythm, and then more importantly, keep him upright and healthy. Because if he's just dropping back to throw over and over again in a spot, then he's gonna get clobbered because this offensive line is not made to just pass block this defense like that. So they got to
at
get
all.
creative. No, not at all. Not at all. So they got to get creative. They got to throw some screens. They got to move the pocket. They got to really make a consistent effort to run the football and just let their defense keep the game close. So I am with you. I actually kind of like that Dak interception prop. I think he'll the defense will do what they need to do to help Zach Wilson and keep this game close. They'll take the shoulders this season, put the team on their shoulders this season, and I
That'd
think
be
they'll
about
create a
it.
turnover. Yeah, that'd be about it, man. That'd be about it. But yeah, defensive game. Like you said, I couldn't talk you off the under in this game either, and I'm leaning towards. It's not up yet, but Dak interception prop. I'm leaning towards that one because Zach Wilson's interception prop is like minus 250, some crazy. So Dax would probably be a little bit more reasonable, but yeah, this is the slugfest on defense is what I see here.
I agree completely.
Yeah, no, nothing else on that game for me. You got
No,
anything?
me neither. Nope.
All right, cool. Last game we got here before we get to some other little segments here. We got the Commanders at the Broncos. Denver favored 3.5, total of 38.5. In this game, open 3.5, total of 41.5. So we've seen some money come in on the under. And I've seen this spread kind of tick, down to 3 and up to 3.5. So not much, but a little buy on the underdog here. Commanders coming off a home win, snuck by the Cardinals as we just talked about that game earlier, 20-16. And the Broncos coming off a division home loss against the Raiders, 17-16. What are you interested in? I'll just say this, and I want to ask this, before we dive into the game, actually. Shout out to It Is What It Is. The Cameron and Mace show. They had AB on there. And he was kind of talking about made some comments about the Denver Broncos and
Russell.
Yeah. I couldn't and it was funny. AB doesn't get credit. I think he's more intelligent than people lead on about him as well. But
yeah, man.
But he made a comment. He was like, man, Denver don't know what they're doing. They just trying to get it together. Any team that, kicking, and I'm paraphrasing, any team that kicking onside kicks to start the game, they not serious, man. They trying to figure it out. So it made me think. I was like, man, that's actually interesting, man. And it made me think as well, they got a new group, ownership, new head coach, they're not really married to Russell Westbrook. What do you think they're trying to do this season in Denver? Or do you know, or what's your thoughts there?
Russell Wilson, man, I think is a situation where I feel like it's not a long-term marriage. This is by the personalities. He's already talked shit about him 3 times already for a season even started. Telling him to stop kissing babies and shit like that. Like, it's a divorce waiting to happen. Like I think Drew Brees and him fought, but it was undercover. I don't think he liked Russell because Russell Wilson Russell Wilson would be good in the Jets. He's that kind of image. He has the wife, he has the public image, he says the right things, he's positive. Sean Payton, I just don't think it's not gonna work. I don't. I'm just not impressed. Like Russell played great in the first half, and then the second half is like shit just was a shit story. Now they didn't have Jerry Judy. Don't get me wrong, no Judy. That's a big part of the offense.
Yeah.
But Russell was cooking in the first half.
Yeah.
Is it time for a conversation about Sean Payton?
Is it? You said it's time for a conversation about Sean Payton?
Is it a time for a conversation about Sean Payton?
Is he like, where is he really rated?
Is he better than Mike McCarthy?
That's a debate. we can talk about it. You know what I'm
You
saying?
talk
You can
about
definitely talk
it.
about it.
Because to me, I can't definitively say both of them had Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers is better than Drew Brees to me all time. Um, we both got one Super Bowl. I mean, with Sean Payton's, coming in like he fucking Bill Parcells or somebody and shit. And like, I just don't like. I just didn't like the way it came off. Like, and I like Sean Payton as a coach. I just didn't like the way it's been coming off. He's trying to correct Russell. And the only thing about Russell Wilson, even that Bronco County last ride shit, he would not let that shit go last year. So to me, I don't feel like Russell is a guy who you can move off his beliefs, move off what he wants. He keep popping babies in Sierra. Like he's going to do what Russell wants to do. And I think that's not appreciated enough, in the quarterback space. You can't say you could take 15 quarterbacks better than him right now, but I just think it's a time for a conversation about Sean Payton and whereas new organization, they wanted Russ, they paid Russ a lot of money, but he's tradable.
He's tradable, man.
Call it what it is, he's tradable.
At this point, I think, and I think they're trying to figure that as well too. Is their future going to include Russell Wilson? I think they're trying to decide that as we go as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if, and I asked that because when you look at this game, it's like, man, you really have to think, is their main concern winning this year? They did give up a lot of assets. I think they gave up an asset to get the coach. If I'm not mistaken, like, did they have to give up a draft pick to New Orleans to get Sean Payton?
That's a good question. I have to look into that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did. So, and then they gave up a lot, to get Russell. So, if I'm just not sold that right now their concern is winning. I think for them, they need to find out if they're going to move forward with Russell or not past, this year, next year. And if not, you got to, I think with Sean Payton, he's probably thinking as well, like if I'm going to come into this regime, I'm at least coming to this regime with a quarterback that that I want to work with, that I want, you know what I mean? And does that mean we try to be bad so we can have an opportunity to get another quarterback, groom a young quarterback or something? I'm not sure, and originally we put this on here and I kind of, we kind of talked about it briefly, but I initially looking at this, I kind of like the Broncos, but now I'm looking at this game and I'm like, I gotta wait and see. I gotta wait and see.
You have to wait and see. Like there's no definitive answer for this at all. You just don't know. I mean, there's not do you feel confident either side? I don't. Commanders didn't play bad, man. Sam Howell was out there. Sam Howell looks athletic. He gonna get comfortable, and they got receivers. Like they got weapons.
They got weapons, right?
I can see this game. The over under is just so low for me. I'm like, what the fuck did they see in these games that made the over so low? Like, I'm almost at the point where I'm leaning like, shit. That's the teaser game I would combine. I would combine the Seahawks Lions over under the 57, or no, because it's the opposite, so I can't do that. But I would get. Okay, would you not take this game at 33 over?
Man, I guess I just don't know what I'm going to. I know this. The Denver tends to. It seems like they tend to play. The only way they're gonna stay in the games is if it's low scoring. Their games are not tend to not be not much scoring, and it's probably gonna be hard for them to pull away from Washington. I know Washington got weapons, but I don't. I'm just not sure. I would think that's not a lot of points, but it's just what do you get from Denver? What if 33, what if this game is, 17-10, 17-13, 17-13.
But are either their defenses that damn dominant?
I think Denver's defense is maybe a little bit above average. I don't think the Commanders have great defense, but I don't think either offense
They got a
is.
good D line.
Yeah, it's above average D line, above average D line. But I don't think either offense right now is good enough that they can just exploit defenses that way. I don't think they connected, they're connected that way. I mean, Washington got a young quarterback. He's trying to figure it out. New offensive coordinator as well. And then Denver, we talked about them trying to figure it out. So I guess there's just too many unknowns for me in this game.
So Garoppolo, this is an interesting stat. Garoppolo was 20 of 26, completed a lot of fucking passes against that defense. And here's the kicker: he didn't get sacked not fucking once.
He didn't
I
get
don't
sacked
remember.
not once.
I don't remember that old line in Oakland being at the offense line in Green Bay or Detroit. So somewhere along the line, he didn't get touched.
He
They
didn't
didn't
get
run the ball
touched,
well.
right?
They didn't get touched, but they didn't run the ball. So two things: they got that damn ball out of his hand quick. With Sam Howell, do you not do the same thing? They threw the ball. Russell Wilson threw the ball 34 times. They ran the ball
Mm.
only 22 times. The Raiders ran the ball more than they passed it. So it really was controlling the clock. But Jimmy Garoppolo's jersey stayed clean.
Stay clean. See that? I mean, if I had to just blind pick something on this game, I would take the underdog 3.5.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I don't like, but I couldn't never take it at this point because I couldn't flip the game, flip from one side and then just take the other. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
That'd
that's
be
a
a
lot.
game I just stay off of. But yeah, it's a weird game. And originally, like I mentioned, initially I looked at it and it was interesting, and then immediately I said, you know what? I'm going to
Yeah,
wait and see about Denver
only
because I
three
don't know.
punts in the entire game.
Really,
It's
and
just a
not
weird stat. 17 to 16, no sacks, three punts, two field goals made, like three field goals attempts total. It's a weird game. No punt returns by either team.
so they was just kicking it out of bounds
Kicking out of bounds or fair catching it.
and fair catch and no and it wasn't no scoring 17-16.
Interesting. So I don't know if that game really told us a lot.
I don't think it told us much of anything, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, keep eye on that game. But that'd be one I'm probably just gonna do more learning and just, gathering some information on it and probably go from there because yeah, it's just not much to gather. I'm not sure what each one of these teams are doing at this point. But
I
no,
agree.
but yeah, no, that's the last of the matchups. Let's go ahead and get into some. Oh, do you got some play? Do you got any other player props you want to throw out there? I got a few.
Yeah, I got a few I was gonna get. I like it hasn't came out yet, so I'm gonna leave that one. I do have DJ Moore, so I'm gonna record it. I think DJ Moore is gonna be a good one.
Okay.
Um, Jordan Love passing attempts whenever it comes out because I don't think Aaron Jones is playing. So I think that one's a good one to put down too when it comes out. I'll put all these in the game group, guys, so don't worry about it. It'll be there as well too. So Jordan Love's passing attempts because they don't look like anybody's gonna run the ball against the Falcons consistently. So if you're gonna beat them, you got to beat them through the air. So maybe if his completions or his attempts is a good one. Um, where's the other one? Like, of course, I said the Josh Allen 2 touchdown passes was a good one. Um, and then let me see if I got anything else. It's really hard right now because not everything has came out on the prop, so
Yeah.
pretty interesting to see. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of dry in there, so that's the ones I have for now that I'm thinking about. Zach Wilson, anytime interception. Same thing with with Dak Prescott. I think that might be Matt Jones. I would say under on his passing attempts too. I think they're gonna run the ball down Miami's throat. That's a game we didn't talk
Okay.
about because
Okay.
it's pretty evenly matched, but that's what I got so far for now.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Um, yeah, and like we said, we post them in a game group. Um, yeah, I think I mentioned one Seattle, Geno Smith over passing yards. Um, I think we got the same one. Buffalo, Josh Allen over 1.5 passing TDs. A game we didn't talk about, 49ers at the Rams. I like Debo Samuel anytime touchdown. Dallas Prescott interception prop. And those are only props I got so far. I think I mentioned Lamar Jackson passing props. I want to look at
Mm,
his as well.
absolutely.
Um, once that comes out. I think I said passing TDs over. Cool. All right, that's some player props. And then what you got on the thing we kind of briefly talked about these as well, but what's your underdogs of the week?
Yeah, man. I think we already said it. We were on board with the Chicago Bears being an underdog. Um, yeah, big underdog look for me. I like this. I'm kind of laying towards the Steelers, but I'm not really. It's hard pressed for me to. Is there two Monday night games this week?
There are two Monday night games. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, no. So I like that, and then I think that's the only underdog I got for me. Green Bay. I thought they were gonna be an underdog, but they're not. So that's about the only underdog I got to win. Possibly Baltimore. And
Well,
if it
okay.
depends on Anthony and Richard's status, I would say the Houston Texans are a
The
viable
Texans.
candidate too.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's one I'd be looking to as well to use as a teaser
Hmm.
if you can still get Houston at +1 and move them up to +7 because
I agree.
I don't think they can blow. Well, any given Sunday, but I think that game would be closer. I think I lean towards Houston money line, but um, yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. Uh, cool, some good underdogs, man. I got my underdogs this week. Um, I would like to see both of them if you can get plus at least no less than +3, but 3.5. But I'm saying FanDuel Chicago +2.5. So Chicago, I gave my explanation. It was no explanation, just a feeling. Chicago, Chicago, and Carolina, one of the Monday night games. Carolina, same thing with that one. No explanation. For some reason, New Orleans struggles with Carolina, especially when they go to Carolina, and I think Carolina finds some way to cover this one as well. So Chicago and Carolina are my underdogs this week,
I can see that.
and and cool. So we got underdogs, and then we got the other segment. We got the lunch ticket segment. Bro, our lunch tickets, bro. I went back and listened to it. Both of them one pick
I know,
away
right?
from hitting.
The whole thing, right?
Your one pick was New England. Um, you had 4.5, right?
Yep. No, I have four. I think it's a solid four.
Yeah, and they lost by 5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. I was pissed too. I was like, damn, I thought this shit was gonna hit.
No, man, no, almost hit that one. And then all mine's hit except for I had Pittsburgh on there, and the thing is I had Cleveland money line. I should have had that one instead of Pittsburgh, but yeah, one away from the lunch ticket. So Good thing about it is we live another Sunday to
We
go
live
to
live
go
another
cash the
Sunday.
ticket. Cool. I'm actually do you got chores already?
It's hard because I don't get no player props right now, but
Yeah, man.
the
Yeah,
two I got
man.
so far right now, Buffalo Bills money line, Giants first quarter 1.5. Then I'm gonna probably hit it with that Jordan Love passing attempts, and then DJ Moore receiving yards for Chicago, and then uh, Joe Burrow whenever his player come out for 2 touchdowns for him if it comes out in 1.5.
Okay, hold on. Let me shoot that to me one more time. Let me write it down for you.
Let me see. I got Buffalo Bills money line, Giants 1.5 first quarter. Um, Jordan Love passing attempts. DJ Moore receiving yards over, and then Joe Burrow. I keep Joe Burrow off. I'm gonna keep that one off.
Okay. And they not out yet, so we can't give you the odds on it, but okay, I feel that. Let's see. All right. Cool.
It looks good
I
for
don't
me.
know
Yeah.
if yeah, so we got Bills money line, Giants first quarter -1.5, Jordan Love over passing attempts, and DJ Moore over receiving yards.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And then this I might have to put this one in early because I do have a freaking money line, Philly money line on there, but and I might adjust this, so I'll probably repost another lunch ticket in the game group, but I'm gonna put this one for right now. I'm gonna go Chicago plus the 2.5, Buffalo money line, Giants money line, Niners money line, Seattle, Detroit over the total. So let me
Got it.
see here. Let me see if we can get this on the screen. Might be able to tell you what it looks like. So we got Giants. $21 over the total.
Yeah.
And then Frisco. Looks like plus 699.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's good money.
Yeah. Yeah, plus 699 on that one. So that was Chicago plus 2.5, Buffalo money line, Giants money line, Niners money line, Seattle, Detroit over the total for plus 699. So not as much as the last week's lunch ticket, but um smaller underdogs this week.
Yeah, definitely. Line is tight though.
Yeah. No, they definitely are. Especially as the weeks come through. So no, a lot of these, keep your eye on these lines as they move throughout the week. And then try to get in the game group, man. Reach out if you want to get in there or something. Like I said, we give access to some of the access for free until, might build up a little bit. And then at that point, it won't be free anymore. So but valuable tool, man. We talk the games in there, and like I said,
Hmm.
as we go throughout the week, you get opinions as other lines. Like right now, the player props are not in, so we can't really even
You can't really give it to you.
can't really
Yeah.
do nothing with those. But yeah, no, that's the show. That's the breakdown, man. Um, any closing thoughts? Money
No, that
line?
was it. I mean, no, I'm just looking forward for another week, and I think everything will start simmering down a little bit, and then it'll make more sense moving forward. We'll have more reads, the lines will come out. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit more access early, and then go from there. But I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Cool. Yeah, man. No, it's exciting. Week 2 right here. We try to get this out to you a little bit quicker this time, so we'll keep you updated. Keep you out on the Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, no, it was a great show, man. This was All Bets In, Season 2, Episode 2, NFL Week 2. Catch us, email team at MyGuyzsports.com. And our IG, that's MyGuyz_sports, Twitter at MyGuyz. I'm Sperl Online. You can find me Twitter and Instagram at Sperl Online. And you know I'm here with Moneyline Rich. Find him on Twitter at Moneyline Rich W and the IG at Moneyline Rich Will. Appreciate y'all joining us. This has been All Bets In, Week 2, Episode 2. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to All Bets In with MyGuyz Sports.
With MyGuyz Sports.
Check us out next time and remember to bet responsibly.